and welcome back to Shogun 2 with the Fall of the Dragon Empire. Last time around we dealt with the Kuboto clan and all their bloody cannons, and in between episodes I've been able to close out the last sieges of the other enemy, which I at this point can't even remember what they were called. But they're gone, which led to a period of peace. Even though the Chinese have now declared war against us again. And we've got an additional contender to deal with. In terms of what I've been able to do with the peacetime is we've started to see a lot of the trains come online. I've been starting building the train stations. Unfortunately, they seem to be underground trains or something. They seem to float through the landscape. But we are starting, we've got 3 train stations along here now, and hopefully within a few turns the entire train line will be operational, so I will be able to go from my capital all the way up to the north, and then through here all the way to the front line here as well, in case there is a front line here. Luckily last time we ended off with disrespecting the Dutch to keep away the war with the second biggest faction besides us in Japan right now, so we were able to avoid that. I have since actually gone ahead and signed a peace treaty with the Dutch. However, it doesn't seem to be looking too good for them, as their province is now under siege. Right, so mostly what I've been focusing on is channeling armies up north, because I figured one thing that we need to deal with is the island to the north. It's rich in resources, and also their navies keep attacking my trade routes, and they are diminishing my income quite a bit. So far what I've been able to do is I've added ships in the area. The enemy doesn't have anything to come close to these, so the 3 Victorieuse class ships that I have built here have been able to keep them at bay. I have yet to send a navy over with an army, but I have sent over an assassin that is moving through, discovering what's going on. Hopefully we'll be able to invade and take control of this island soon enough. However, of course, we are also at war with the Chinese, and the Chinese have sent their fleet. And in this case they have quite a few. So they have 1 fleet here, which is bombarding my main port. Haven't actually managed to damage it. And then we have another Chinese fleet over here, which have been bombarding this province. Currently the Dolphins of Asia fleet is right over here, ready to engage with this fleet. Since it's been bombarding, it does have an ironclad, but it does have a lot of these Chinese junk ships as well. There's more Chinese ships as well that are raiding my trade and causing quite the disturbance. I also noticed this. We've got a railroad tunnel in the middle of the sea. I'm not entirely sure who's building that and where it's going. What it looks like, it could be going all the way to, maybe it's the Americans building a railroad over to them. But right, over to the Chinese front. So I have been able to actually build up an army in China right now. So we have an army with cavalry, with cannons, full stack, and I tested it out on this small province and I was able to conquer it, which is great, and we will be able to hop on and continue attacking these different province capitals and take them over. However, as you might see something here, the United Kingdom has declared war on us. I sent a spy, I believe, down here to check out kind of the area. The thing is, if you don't remember this town at all, it's no surprise, because I sort of found it with my agent accidentally walking close to this area and find out that there is a town there. Like, there's a lot of towns that I have no clue. There's a lot more towns, Chinese towns everywhere, than I thought there were. So I conquered that one, so now technically we control all the way here. So if there's peace, they can't send troops either way. Hopefully now, though, these are the only 2 Chinese settlements that are left. The British are at war with us, though, and they have put their army on a fleet here. Luckily for me, though, it's a single ship. If I'm lucky, it's a poor ship, then I'll be able to attack. Now, I have been able to build 1 ship here. The thing, though, was that when I built the ship, I only had it in mind to go and discover the island off the coast here. And sort of maybe go along the coast and discover that as a sort of discovery ship. So it's the smallest one you can build, the wooden brig. Doesn't have explosive shot. If it gets close, it can fire a canister. We could set fire to the enemy ship. But that's potentially not very likely. And who knows what the British ship is. We're gonna try, at least. It would be nice to sink these guys before. Right, it has 24 guns, which is not that many more than us. However, it's a corvette, and against my ship, I don't think we have that big of a chance. A corvette, can I see? It has 800 range, 24 guns, hull strength 500. What do we have? Hull strength 300, so that's less. Cannon range is the same. We have less cannons. I could use the bug, potentially, to fire off and destroy them. That's risky. The thing is, though, I'm pretty sure it's a similar thing with most of the modded in areas, is that they... Because I remember when I played the last time I played this mod, or not this mod, but the one Izzy made, which it only had Korea. Then they had the sort of the similar as we got the sort of the shoreline of China. That was what you got of Korea. And as I remember then, there wasn't really any beaches to land your troops at, so you had to land them really around the ports. That were the only areas, really, on these modded areas that you could land your troops. So I could probably protect just a port and sit there, and if he wants to come and land, he's gonna have to throw my ship out, which means he's gonna have to attack. He's come close. We get some sort of, you know, naval area where I could hit the ship, so it would, you know, they would have to come in close, and I could hide in a cove or something, and then fire off shrapnel, do the, you know, the bug where you go in and you let the ship fire first, and then you go in personal view, and you get to fire a second time, so I could double the rate of the shots I'm able to put down, and I use canister to set fire to their wooden ship, and suddenly they can't land their army. Great. Right, the thing is, though, right now we don't have any movement points really anywhere except for this here, and I'm thinking we're actually gonna strike here and attack. We're gonna keep the movement up on China. So we're going to strike and attack here. Kill that one. This one's completely open. Now we do have a Chinese force here, and there's probably hidden Chinese forces God knows where. But if I'm able to advance my position here, I could possibly, within the next turn, then jump from here directly to Hong Kong. In which case I could snuff out the British resistance as soon as possible, and then, you know, the Chinese town here surrounded, take that out, and then force the Chinese into a peace treaty again, and then I would only have to worry about a Chinese border along the route here, which would be good. So I think that's what we're going to start with. For this episode, I think we're going to focus on trying fighting here. I don't think I'll be able to really focus off enough energy to make an assault on the north. I figure I'm going to need more armies to do that, and I would really like to launch armies against all the towns simultaneously to attack and destroy within 1 or 2 turns, so that I minimize the risk of the assassins on the islands, on this island, to destroy all my wonderful characters. What I could actually do, in case I'm really worried about that, is to send over the armies without the generals. That could be a thing. Anyways, I'm going to take this entire force. Go ahead and attack here. Okay, so there was a secondary army, but it's only 1 unit, which I'm lucky. The entire area is filled with, like, mostly melee units. The units that are difficult in sieges is the archers, because they're able to fire at much better angles. And before we go ahead and go any further here, this area needs some reinforcements. So I'm going to transfer 3 units, which is not really enough to hold it. I guess we could. Now the enemy is right there. But to make sure that we do not lose this area, I'm going to transfer an additional 2 units. So at least have 5. That should make it hard enough for the Chinese to take that. We're going to go ahead and conduct this siege, and then move on to ending turn and bracing for the enemy's response. But first, let's go ahead and do this siege. Well, would you look at that? Such a commanding view over the enemy castle. The Chinese do not stand a chance. It's time to burn it down. After a short bombardment, I've turned the enemy's fort into a fiery inferno. We just need a little bit more, and then we're ready to storm the castle and claim it for France. The attack commences, and we start to storm the fortress. The Chinese are rushing in troops to stop us claiming the walls. And here's the result of that siege. We deployed 3,700 men against 5,300 Chinese. And we ended up losing close to 500, while the entire garrison was taken out. Highest kills goes to random units. We see a little bit of howitzers, and even the cavalry was awarded a few kills. 75 each, to be exact. The castle falls into our hands. We now control yet another area. It already has built basic industry for us, and the barracks should improve the replenishment rate. Oh, it's pretty bad, actually. It's pretty bad all over China, I should say. Probably burn this and build my own, and that will improve the replenishment rate. Don't think I have it this bad anywhere else. Although, I think a large part of why it's so bad is because they don't have a proper general. Most of my generals get at least a 5% bonus, which does something. Plus that I have an additional 5 from, but that should actually affect them. Right. Anyways, that puts us a step closer to taking out the British. Now, I'm waiting for the British response to this. I'm sure, similar to how we thought the Kubotas only had 1 army, the British probably don't have just 1 army. The army that is stationed on the ship is probably just one of many. They could reasonably have one or two marching across land, which would most likely have been moving to target this town or this town, since this one was just claimed. Could reroute the force that way, but I guess we're likely to see an attack here or on Guangdong. But who knows? The enemy might very well surprise me. With that said, let's prepare ourselves for a British counterattack. Well, there we have it. They did bring an army across the land, although it's one completely made up of conscript infantry. They bring in the worst troops. I was expecting quite a hard fight from the British. Looks like it could have been that they loaded up their best troops on their ship and left their worst ones to march on land, although I do note that we actually have the faction leader leading this army, and they have deployed 3 generals with this army. Most of this is really poor conscripts. They do bring Coldstream Guards and Grenadier Guards, together with what's this guy called? Bottomly Faithful? He's a bottom boy, and he's a faithful bottom boy? Is that what they bring against me? Well then, let's deal with this bottom boys. Well, my plan for the siege is I have enough troops that I can go and meet the British. We have equal number of troops, 6,000 on each side. So I feel confident in actually taking the fight to them. I'm going to march out with 3 units over here. And we're going to march out with an additional 3 units over here. So we got the strong point of the fortress. And then we're going to bring in troops to attack them. Let's see. Looks like they put... oh, the conscript are actual British conscripts. I thought it might have been... Oh, there we go. There's the conscripts. Who are these then? They're just eager. Alright, my mortars have started blasting the British troops. Where have they put their guard units? They put the generals here, so I guess they put the guard units on this side. The guard units, of course, boost the morale of the troops around them. Right, quickly now, into line. With the armies coming in there, I'd potentially move them through here, but now, as these guys come in that way, we'll move the troops around this way and face them. The enemy is already taking shots from the walls. Deploying my troops. Let's go faster. No, not all 3 of them. You will march there, and these 2 will march up like that. And let's be speedy about it. So these are facing mortar fire, and soon enough the fire from 2 sides here. My troops. We are gonna receive quite a bit of casualties though, as facing the British after all. Damn, they're, this unit's taking a hard hit. However, it leaves the other units free to fire, which is good. Right, I want these to start moving that way. The mortar, the musket fire. Oh, they've sent in their general. Which one is it? Is it Bottomley? Bottomley, is that you? Or is that a faction leader? No, it's not Bottomley, it's the one with a hussar cap. This could very well be Bottomley. This is Bottomley! And here's the faction leader. One of his bodyguards right next to him was taken out by a shot. Alright, here comes Bottomley. Are we being shot in the side? No, they are firing on the wall. Right. Ooh, Bottomley is about to ride straight into an absolute barrage. Bottomley did it though. Don't underestimate a British bottom boy. Oh, or maybe you do. Did Bottomley get away? Bottomley! Or you are about to die, Bottomley. If that was Bottomley. I don't know. I think he's about to get away. Right, now the general's coming in. The force here is concentrating. Are you firing? Yes. Focus the mortar fire that way now. British force have been defeated. The faction leader is about to get taken out. I'm gonna take one unit, send it back here to try and stop as many of the British troops leaving. And then these troops can actually move on the backside here. There's a ridge going through the woods. So we can actually move through here and then deploy, come up in line on either side of this house, and then absolutely destroy the British troops that are marching here. As the faction leader was taken out, or all those troops there, actually you can, what you can do is you can march that way. Meanwhile, these two units will now redeploy facing this way, and will put a lot of pressure down on the units that are marching up there, including those guard units. I'll order you actually to just march in bayonet as many of them as possible, while you will be ordered into line here, and we'll order up one to the wall. Right, these are now in position. Come up through the hidden ground, prepared to fire down upon guard units down here. We've started firing on these right there, which is wonderful. Let's go ahead and put down some suppression fire. The guard units probably have pretty darn good morale boost to all the troops here. Well, eventually, it's gonna work, but it's not gonna work for that long, is it? We can actually advance here. They're completely occupied by marching up onto the wall. So I will bring my troops closer. Wonderful. Let's make sure though as few of these make it out here as possible. Make it a lot easier when I'm ready to attack Hong Kong. Thing about Hong Kong though, I did note that we're upgrading the town, so I would like to take the town after they had fully upgraded it. Let's move you like that. Oh, they're firing back at us now? Whenever you're ready, ooh, full on volley there. Poor British troops, actually it's British troops, but mostly it's conscripted Chinese troops that the British have brought in. Even with all what's going on, the Coldstream Guard is actually charging up the wall and trying to secure a way in to the castle. But it looks like it's all over. It's just one Grenadier Guard unit that's left, and now not even that. And I stand victorious. The British will destroy the walls of our castle. Here's the result of our battle against the British. They deployed 6,000 and we deployed roughly 6,000 as well. The difference comes at the losses. They lost 5,600 while we only lost 500. Their force remains 400 men while I'll still have close to 6,000 troops. When it comes to kills, you can see it's, you know, nondescript. Infantry units kill the most, and the British, oh, they send in a secondary force. It's the faction leader again, but this time he arrives with a smaller force. We have Indian troops, Gurkha rifles, Royal Welsh Fusiliers, Marines, and Alistair Hawthorne as his second in command. Let's see if the British are able to do it a little bit better this time around. Although I doubt it. The battle is already underway, and we're doing the same tactic as last time because it worked so well. This time though I deployed 4 units to this side. I've split the howitzers, so one is aiming this way while the other one is aiming that way. We're gonna move 3 smaller units this way, and I think the interesting bit is gonna take a look at the specialty units that the British bring in, which is the Marines, which we can see here, sailors in this case. And I do believe I saw that they had a tier 2 line infantry unit right here. They also have the Gurkhas right here, and the Welsh Fusiliers. This time around, they're actually performing quite well. They are lining up and shooting us in a completely different fashion this time around. Oh, here comes the Indian troops. They've decided to send the Indian troops, all the Indian troops from this side. Marching forward here. The Indian troops come without any of the elite guard units to bolster their morale. Which means they're probably going to break quite quickly. They are actually seemingly deploying towards us over here to try and smash these troops. Ah! The British governor is dead. No, here he is. That's the faction leader. It's just one of the generals. British are deciding to go for a bayonet attack to dislodge us. Go ahead and kneel fire to make sure that they hold their position. Are the Indians already broken? 2 units. The 3rd unit's about to break as well. The Indians did not hold up, but they didn't have the support of legendary units like last time. I'm gonna bring the troops around like that. And I'm gonna bolster the line right here. The British are gonna stand and fire at us at point blank range. I'm gonna order the 2 weaker units to break off to the sides. And then we're gonna just have the center unit start dealing damage to them. Jesus Christ, the British are... I didn't think that tactic would work, but it did. They absolutely shattered the units. They marched up, and then at point blank range, within 2 meters of my lines, they attacked and destroyed them. Alright, so the British definitely learned from last time. 2 units down here that are still fighting, and The British are nowhere closer to taking control of the castle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set one unit there to block the Indians from leaving, and then these two units will be hurried to move and deal with the enemy troops right here. Now the British are, of course, coming up against a wall. It's going to be a lot more difficult for them. I'm going to drop that, and then I'm going to bring the troops up here. They look to be breaking. It's just the... is it the Welsh Guard that remains? It's the Welsh Fusiliers and a regular unit that's just stationed there right next to them. I've got one mortar being able to fire this way. I'm going to order it to fire right at them. I'm going to bring this one up to fire just into the back. You need to hold and face the general that's coming up right behind you. Oh, the Welsh Fusiliers are ready for us. Well, they were ready for us. Fortunately for them, they, I guess they forgot to fire. Order a bayonet charge. We have one guy leading the charge. A go-getter. And there we are. Another victory against the British. They shouldn't have sent their third army on the ship. This time around, though, they did a lot more damage to us. They destroy those lines. It's a very costly tactic, though, and it left no troops left for taking the castle. Also, sending those 3 units, the Indian units, on their own, not very good. Not very good at all. Here's the second battle against the British. They deployed 4,000 men against my close to 6,000, 2,800 to be precise, or more precise. The enemy lost 3,600, leaving 600 alive. We, this time, lost 1,100, close to 1,200 men, leaving us as a force of 4,700. One unit was in fact completely destroyed, down to every single soldier killed. And we have another one over here that was down to 59 men. Highest kills goes to one that was able to secure 900, almost 1,000 kills during the battle. But now, hopefully, all the land forces of the British are done for. We just need to keep an eye on that naval force. And that was the end of the British attacks. We have an enemy raid at Guangdong, no surprise there. The Chinese are at it, burning those areas. They burnt those areas so many times. Province bombarded, that's the Chinese as well. Increased in rank, good. Our assassin is detected. That is not the assassin I thought he was. Trade routes attacked. All of these, a lot of these are Chinese fleets. And a lot of these are from the... Oh, Great Fire? Let me guess, where is this Great Fire? Oh, in China? In the province we just took over, there's a big fire. We've got a new ship being built. Wonderful. Chinese army discovered. And this force, that is not our concern though. So we've got two Chinese forces, one in the middle there. Cavalry recruited. Oh yes, I completely forgot. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this area has, let's see where it is. There. It has a Buddhist temple that increases the charge bonus for all troops recruited in this province, which is really good. It's almost a little bit too good. As you can see here now, they have a charge bonus that is exceptional. It's gold. And as you can read out there, the charge bonus has increased to 43 points. What is the normal then for my troops? So here's troops without any bonuses. 13. It's increased by 30 points. 30 points. Anyone getting charged by these new cavalry units, I'm just gonna spam these. We're gonna replace all the cavalry units we currently have with these ones that now has the increased charge bonus. 43. That's quite insane. We have more railways being built, so we've got one station being built here and one station being built right there. So now you can actually get on the train, as I'm gonna do with this army. I can get on this train and I can ride all the way up through here. Let's go on the train. Choo-choo! And he made it all the way over there. Right, let's look at what this army would have marched the same length. 3 turns. Instead, make it to the railway station. And then he's not going to be able to make it all the way because he doesn't have as much stamina. Okay, so he didn't make it anywhere. He should have gone to New York. If you make it there, you can, or wherever. If you make it there, you can make it anywhere, right? That's what they say. So everything seems on fire, but some of it is just capitalism, as we've built up industries. My assassin, probably the reason why I found out where the Chinese armies are. I'm gonna move him closer here, and maybe he can spot more of these bastards. Right, so now I am within throwing distance of Hong Kong. I wonder here if, let's go ahead and see. Their power is moderate, the prosperity is moderate. I wonder if I can request peace, make them a vassal. This deal seems satisfactory. Add a trade agreement. And can I demand some money off you as well? How about 10,000? Okay, now that's too much. Asking for money as well? Oh wait, look at that. The United Kingdom is allied with the Chinese. Well, they'll have to break that alliance. As much as I would like to conquer Hong Kong, having the British as a vassal is probably quite good. Their navies will be able to patrol for me. I think this is a deal. And they accept. Wonderful. Yay, we are now best friends. The Chinese and the British have broken their alliance. And now I am trading with my vassal, the British. There's the remainder of their army. Now this army can be sent to wherever. Now when I don't have to worry about this, I will send out my navy here to try and find, try and find that island. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Look at where it is on the map and where I am pointing right now. There it is. Where, though, is the town that you can conquer on this island? I imagine there is one. We'll make our way around. Eventually we'll find it. Exploring our way through there. Wonderful. Now we do have one Chinese settlement here. We've already turned it 11% pro-shogunate. That's going to continue to increase. I'll be able to use this base right here once we've built a cadet school, and I'm not entirely sure what we'll build as the secondary here. But clearly everything's going very well. This needs to be taken though before I go ahead and sign a peace treaty with the Chinese. And you know what we should end this on? A naval battle. Am I gonna have the range to attack? I want to show how much, like these blockades, or when they attack the trade routes, how much they do actually. Let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna just send out the ship to force one of these fleets away. So I'm gonna take this one right here, force you away. Okay, so that did not increase a lot, but that was because it's a single fleet, single ship. I'm gonna force you away. Oh, he actually stands to fight. The dumb thing about this is, like, these ships have no chance whatsoever, so I don't know why they try this. Right, we're gonna kill these guys then. I'm giving them as much of a chance as they will ever get. I'm going straight into the middle of their fleet. And still, clearly they have no chance. Have they killed anyone? They have actually killed 4 men of the crew. Or at least incapacitated them. The interesting thing, I have tried not to zoom in too much on these boats when I've showed them before, because they're crewed by British troops. But now, when Britain is my vassal in the area, you know, it no longer is that weird. It's still kind of weird that I'm not crewing my own ships, but now when I'm allied with Britain and we're sharing the wealth of Asia, although I've clearly at this point I've taken more of Japan and China than they probably ever will. But there we go. This fleet thought it had a wonderful chance against me. Clearly, that was not the case. Well, there we go. That fleet sunk, and my trade income just rose with about 2,000 gold just due to that. And as we saw with... now I can't bring it up, but we... that was a lot. That was a lot of areas. There is another one that's attacking my trade. Removing that, maybe another 2,000, and so on and so forth. The Chinese have been sitting here. They have not actually bombarded my port, which I don't get. But now it's time for the Dolphins of Asia to go ahead and attack these guys right here, which have, unfortunately for them, moved straight into the Lion's Mouth. It's another one of those large Chinese ships that accompanies the junk ships, which for the time period, or at least against European power, definitely is a junk ship. They're rightfully hanging back while the large ironclad, the dreadnought, the pre-dreadnought, whatever you want to call them, is moving closer. I'm quite impressed by this, especially the fact that these guns seem to pivot as the ship move. You can see how the guns on this side, or at least that one, is kind of turned to be able to potentially face this way. I wonder if, when you take personal command of a ship like this, you can just turn this, or you can see it like turn with the sort of attacking where you're trying to attack. Or if it always is that as soon as it starts, the guns just turn this way. Obviously there's some textures missing, but that's to be expected on a mod that's not finished. Let's go ahead and take personal command right here and just blast. Right, what I'm going to do now, clearly we're he's gotten that close. They were not actually able to lay fire, although this ship is actually firing muskets at him. I'm just going to turn up like this to be able to lay in more fire. What if I... wait, can I try and board him? I fear like the game might crash. There you go, you saw that one. It turned completely around that way, so now this gun is facing this way. This gun's... they're facing a little bit all over. This one though is facing through the ship. Oh, now I know where I need to aim. Down there. Oh, massive fire just started in the ship. Right, I want you to go against the young ship. It has surrendered. I wish I could capture one of these, but unfortunately we've not had that luck yet. I'm able to capture over and over again. I'm able to capture these awful Japanese old medieval ships, but never a ship like on this scale or size. Oh, the young ships are now starting to turn. They're starting to fire their old cannonballs. We'll order the Dolphin fleet to turn, start opening fire on these ships. Quite impressive, these ship models here. They're firing the best they can. Unfortunately for them, their best is not a lot. Although they are pummeling the lead ship over there. I'm gonna go take a closer look. They have killed quite a lot. It is a very exposed top on this ship. There isn't really much where the crew can hide. Let's take out their admiral. Oh, I fired too high. Missed the ship entirely. You can see the entire fleet is on fire here. Soon enough, though, he'll go down. Still 2 ships still standing. That one's trying to make away. As soon as this one's reloaded, I will get my second shot in. And this time, I will aim a lot better. And I do believe I started a fire. And the entire fleet completely engulfed in flames. And there we have the victory. Decisive victory over the Chinese fleet. 10 ships lost. Fortunately, I did not capture that mighty ship. Yeah, because it's so hard to navigate around these areas because of the map changes, I had quite a few tries to actually get into position to fight them, and they actually ran away the first time, and they ran away into the mountain. 2 of my ships suffered some damage, while this one, the lead ship, took so many cannonballs and lost quite a few men in the crew. Right, but here we are now victorious. So what do we do in this episode? Well, we subjugated the British. Well, I guess we can say we made them our ally. We sunk some fleets next time around, because now I don't have to deal with the immediate threat of the British. If it weren't for the British attacking me, we probably would have actually been seeing the attack on the northern bit of Japan. I'll see about once again sort of making peace with the Chinese, consolidating this area more, making a proper defensive line, and for the next one, then we should finally, hopefully, be able to go against the north. I'm able to move the spy here just before we end the video. Looks like each of their castles is fully manned and crewed with troops. They got plenty of imported guns, although of smaller size. Preferable is to have 1 ship with 1 army each ready to land at one of each of these locations. But that would mean I would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 armies. Currently I only have 2 ready to disembark. We've got another 3rd right on the way here. And then I've got the other 2 by train moving this way as well. I would have to bring, yeah, I would have to bring all of them. We do have a new officer. Where did I get him? I can't remember. Oh yes! Okay, so I forgot to tell you. So I went back in time, you know, to save my general that was about to get assassinated for the siege right here. As it turns out, doing that... Oh wait, to save him here, I had to finish the siege here. But to finish the siege here, I had to move the army out of and leave the general, because he was the one that was moving slower. So I had an army without a general attacking the castle, because the fight, the siege, the storming of the castle went so great. The commander there was put up for promotion, and I gained another general. So not only did I go back in time to save one of my generals, because of that maneuver, I gained another one. So now we have Pierre Charles, distrustful, and he likes the new methods. Wonderful. Very loyal, which is good. So everything turned out a lot better than I could have ever hoped for. And by this progress, we should have eliminated, hopefully, all supporters of the Emperor from Japan soon enough. But this has been a very long episode. I'm stumbling over my words, as you can see. So it's high time for me to end the episode. And I will say, as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.